Guys, it is Mitch here with Smedley Plumbing, and we recently bought one of the brand new Ford E-Transit vans. The model that we bought is a high roof, standard 148 inch length model. There's only one size bigger. You could get the extended length model if you wanted as well. These things are brand new. There's not a lot of public that has them yet. There are very few purchasing members of the public that has them. There have been a couple of people out there with some beta test models where they were given to them from Ford for a few months to kind of check them out. But we wanted to share with you our experience with the E-Transit. Prior to this, I have very, very little experience with all electric vehicles. I'm not a huge fan of EVs, but I'm also not a huge discourager of EVs. I'm very new to the platform, and so we've got a very transparent view with me when it comes to getting used to an EV. Initially, I wanted to kind of go over a couple of things. We've had this thing for 2 days now. We've only put about 50 or 60 miles on it as we're just getting some preliminary stuff done with it. We're going to be using this as a plumbing service van. Prior to making this decision, we ran a bunch of numbers, and our trucks drive an average of 70 miles a day. We serve a fairly local area, and so the E-Transit is claimed to have about a 100-mile range per charge. So the 70 mile a day usage that we have plays right into that very, very well. Wanted to kind of give you guys a very high level walk around of everything, just kind of our first experiences with it, to kind of share, again, our experience with it. So, for starters, the unit charges right here in the center of the grill, right underneath the emblem, and it comes with a supplied level 1 charger. This level 1 charger can run on a standard 120 volt outlet. It also comes with a NEMA 1450 plug that will let you run it on a 40 amp 240 volt outlet as well. The charger, again, these adapters here, we can walk over here real quick and see. The adapter just plugs right into the top of the charger. So here in our shop, I don't have a 40 amp outlet, so we've got it just tentatively plugged into the 120 outlet. To plug the charger in, it's very simple. We pop out the dust cover and we just plug this guy in, right? The first thing it's going to do, this is the first time I've plugged it in with the supplied charger. So the first thing that it's going to do is kind of calibrate everything. Prior to plugging this in just now, the unit was like at 97 or 98% charge. So the range on the unit was still right at about 100 miles. This unit came out of the factory displaying a 100 mile range. A couple of the people that I have talked to that have had theirs for a week or two longer than me, they were driving them around empty for a while, and every time they would recharge it, the range would increase a little bit. And so running empty, it sounds like you can get about 120 miles of range out of the unit. Obviously, nobody's going to run them empty. They wouldn't buy a big old Transit to run them empty. So I'm fairly sure that Ford advertised a 100 mile range to allow you for some payload, some weight to be hauled into the back. So what we have here, when we plug it in, each one of these quadrants of this circle represents a 20% level of charge. So this one is 20%, this one is 40, this one is 60, this one is 80, and because we aren't quite 100%, this final 20% from 80 to 100 is blinking. That lets us know that the van is indeed charging. The unit will charge the fastest from 20% to 80%. It will charge the slowest from 0 to 20, and it will again charge the slowest from 80 to 100. So I wanted to plug it in on the charger now because we want to get this thing 100% fully charged. We'll show you guys where our mileage is, and then we're going to go do some real world tests with this thing empty. Another thing we plan on doing with it is weighing it exactly as it came from the factory so that we can carry some benchmark numbers as we share with you in the future once we get it loaded with a couple of 1,000 pounds of what we put in it, what our range adopts to at that point. Obviously the range should go down a little bit, but we want to carry all those numbers across to you. So we'll leave this thing on the charger. Oh, by the way, charger comes in this cool little carrying bag, so you can kind of keep it with you wherever you go. We'll leave this thing on the charger for right now, and we'll walk around the unit and kind of show you some things. We ordered this unit with literally every option that was available except the 360 camera. And I probably would have gotten it with the 360 camera had I known it was available, but when we were ordering this, the ordering system was a little bit confusing, and no salesman out there is super familiar with these new e-transit codes, and so we just simply didn't know to order that. So here is the unit. We've got some HID headlights on it. Figured it was all electric transit, so we wanted to kind of show you that. And of course, HID and LED headlights never show up very well on camera. So you're probably seeing those flash around a little bit. We'll take you on a quick walk around of the unit real fast. We've already applied our plumbing company's stickers to the unit, so you're going to see that on there. But other than that, again, it's a high roof, standard 148-inch length unit. It's not the short 130, and it's not the extended length where you have an extra 30 inches behind the wheel well. Just the standard 148-inch wheelbase, high roof. One of the other cool features with this Transit is we opted for the onboard Pro Power Pack. With this Pro Power Pack, as long as the unit is on and running, we can actually plug, inside here there are two receptacles, we can plug extension cords into here and power some of our tools. If we need that for the job site, great. If we need to charge some of our cordless batteries, we can do that as well. One of the neat things that we are going to do with this build is literally any piece of power we need to build this out for our plumbing van, we're going to get that power from the unit. Don't necessarily have to. I have power in the shop, but it's kind of fun to let the unit power its own build. So as you can see here, we'll pop open this other door. As you can see, the inside is pretty dang empty. We did opt for the rugged heavy-duty floor, which is awesome for plumbers because we're all the time rolling big and heavy machinery out of there. We've got the cargo protector walls on there as well. Other than that, it's a pretty empty shell. We will get this thing completely loaded up with all kinds of shelving and over 2,000 pieces of material by the time it's all said and done. So let's keep walking around and we will show you the front of this unit. So let me get these closed up here. One other quick thing about these doors is they break away, and let me make sure we're in clear. They break away and they will fold back and dock on themselves. So that's kind of nice to get them completely out of the way. And one last thing that's kind of neat with them is once you get it back into its normal position, you can actually lock the door to keep mild to moderate winds from trying to blow this door open or closed. I say mild to moderate because about 6 months ago on one of our other units, I had a 70-mile-an-hour wind gust come up and it actually popped it off of the lock. It didn't break anything, it's just the lock let go and the door went all the way open. So let's go around to the side. Our unit's got the slider. Some of the units have like a 60-40 bifold door. I don't like that. I like the slider because with the 60-40 bifold door, if you park up close to something, you just simply can't get in it. But again, rugged flooring, metal steps with this rugged flooring, which is really neat because prior to this one, I've only seen them with plastic steps and they break pretty easily. And now let's climb up into the front and you guys can kind of get a panoramic view of the front of this unit. Inside here, we've got, get our radio turned down here. So they come factory with this nice big display screen. It runs on Apple CarPlay. I'm not too familiar with Apple CarPlay, so I'm not going to act like I know how to operate that yet. But it's pretty cool because you can have your radio, you can have your navigation, and all things on the display at once. It's pretty neat. You do lose a cup holder with the E-Transit. All of the gas transits have 2 cup holders in the center. The E-Transit has 1. However, what you lose in cup holders, you gain in knee room. One of my frustrations with the previous units was you didn't quite have enough knee room over here, so you do gain that back. The E-Transit is a rotary dial shifter. You do have to push on the brake to unlock that. The knob literally won't turn unless you push on the brake or have the unit on. Over here on the dash, if you want to come around over my head, over here on the dash, we've got a couple of things. Obviously, speedometer. In my preliminary drive home from the dealership, I found out that it tops out at 82 miles an hour. I don't know yet if that is going to be a permanent thing or if that is anything we can affect or change. I'm not exactly sure. So currently right now we are charging. I was a little off earlier on the charge. It looks like we are at 92% instead of the 96 or 7 that I thought we were. So currently right now it's showing a 92 mile range. And again, because it's based out of about a 100-mile range, your percentage is going to equal your mileage remaining. Over here, we have a power meter. And what that power meter does is, give me just a second, I got an alarm going off on my phone here. What this power meter does is it's basically an indicator of your accelerator position. So as I floor the unit, it goes to 100% power. As I let off of the accelerator and the unit starts slowing down, it does have regenerative braking where the unit slowing down will actually recharge the battery slightly. So that needle actually goes backwards into the green and starts recharging things. Aside from that, everything else is very standard with this unit. The battery pack is under the floor. It is rear-wheel drive. It has a motor in the back of it, shafts coming out both sides of the motor, and then it uses 2 CV axles to power the unit. So when you have an E-Transit, you have independent rear suspension now instead of a solid axle. So that pretty much completes our real quick tutorial with everything. Again, follow along with us as we explore this and we learn more. And also feel free to throw some comments down below if you have questions that you want us to help test out. So one of the first tests we're going to be doing is getting a real world range of the unit in an empty condition. So stay tuned. We'll catch up with you later.